Hi, doing everybody, Jonathan here, and in this video, I'm going to go over 5 points on why you should not be training your clients like bodybuilders, and I'm going to borrow 1 point from the bodybuilding community that will help you see success with your clients immensely. And it's going to be very important because a lot of clients tend to, I get it all the time when I'm training. Every other question is, well, what's this working? What's that working? And I know a lot of you come to me with questions on programming and frustrations on why your clients may not be seeing success. You tell me how you're training them, and I think it may be that you're stuck in the bodybuilding mentality. So I'm going to help you break through that, and I think a lot of the information is going to help to improve your training habits and will also help your clients to see a lot of success. But before I go into that, if you have not yet, make sure to click on that link up there and subscribe to my newsletter, as I send out short articles every Monday on how to see success in the fitness industry. If you just happen to stumble upon this video, make sure to click on the YouTube icon and subscribe to this channel, as I make videos every Wednesday based on questions that I get the most. And as always, if you've already subscribed to both my newsletter and to the YouTube channel, thank you very much for your support. And if you find the information in this video helpful, please click on the like button below the video player, because every like that I get helps this channel. And while we're on the topic of likes, I almost expect a number of dislikes on this video, as I understand that YouTube is a large platform for the bodybuilding community. But there are a couple of things that I want to remind you of. Number one, this is not a mark against bodybuilding for everybody. It's just that you have to understand that when clients come in, they are not exhibiting the same kind of dedication that the average bodybuilder has, all right? So they can't necessarily engage in the kind of programming that a bodybuilder would engage in. Further, for the type of audience that this channel is trying to help, our first goal is to make sure that they are healthy. A lot of people are coming in having not really exercised before and really need to get into a healthy body fat. So our first goal is to help them to get to a healthy body fat range. And then from there, whatever you want to do. If you want to do bodybuilding, if you want to do competitive running, if you want to do crossfitting, that's up to you. But our first goal is going to be health. So we need to make sure that our exercising is going to be health-minded. So let's go over these 5 points and let's make sure that we can help you see success. When it comes to explaining the difference between good personal training and bodybuilding to clients, the first thing that you have to address is that what they see in magazines are not real, all right? In most of the cases, a lot of the models that you see on the covers or features in spreads are essentially like very dehydrated in order to get that very ripped look, and they do like little workouts to get a pump going so their muscles are more pronounced and more defined when they're taking the picture, but they don't walk around like that. So for a client to think that they're going to be able to achieve that on a daily basis with the regular responsibilities that they already have, it's going to be very difficult for the client. So you want to make sure that the client understands that that may be a model's lifestyle, but for those of you blue collar, white collar, stay-at-home mom, working dad, single mom, single dad, that's not necessarily what your first goal should be. Your first goal should be to get to a healthy body fat, and then from there, you can address whatever extra goals you want to achieve. The second problem with training like a bodybuilder is that clients focus on the wrong things in order to mark whether or not a workout is successful. They're going to focus on the burn, they're going to focus on pain, and they're going to focus on sweat. And that doesn't necessarily lead to a change in your body, at least as it pertains to, let's say, muscle growth, or what we would explain to the client as toning. The process through which you sweat, burn, and experience pain is the breakdown process. However, the aspect that actually grows and builds the muscle that you want to see in your end game is really going to revolve around your rest, your hydration, and your nutrition. And even beyond that, you have to help your client understand that fitness goes from the inside out, not the outside in. So they're working on, or they're worrying about all these superficial feelings, but what we're concerned about is going to be mobility, it's going to be about bone density, it's going to be about energy, it's going to be about good sleep. So these are the first things that your client is going to have to notice before they see any of these superficial things that they look to achieve long term. The third problem with training as a bodybuilder, or allowing your client to train in the bodybuilding mentality, is that they focus too much on spot reducing. I alluded to earlier how clients are constantly asking, well, what does this work? What does that work? And I want to work more on my triceps, or I want to work more on my glutes. And that's fine. However, you have to understand that you're not going to do an exercise. You're just not going to do tricep kickbacks all day long and then have, great triceps and, a horrible midsection or an undefined lower body. I always explain to my clients that fitness is essentially peeling an onion, especially when you start off in an elevated body fat, which most of your audience is going to start off with. We're looking to first peel the outer layers, the excess body fat, and then once we get to a healthy body fat percentage, for women somewhere between, let's say, 23 and 33, for men somewhere between 12 and 18, then we can start to look at, all right, we want to increase the size of our arms. But in the beginning, most people's first goal is to reduce the excess fat that's around all of our bodies. So until we peel the layers off the onion, we're not really worrying about what this does and what that does. You have to understand that these clients are not looking to get on a stage. We're not looking to pose, so we don't want to round out the peak of our biceps per se, as much as we want to be more efficient at what we do. And the first concern is just getting better sleep, having more energy, being able to play with your kids, being able to, do a physically intensive job a little bit more efficiently. So in terms of bicep curls, having a higher peak in your bicep, while it's, great for the ego, is not necessarily going to help you to chase your kids around any easier. It's not going to help you to deal with a labor-intensive job any easier. So you want to address the fundamental needs first, and then you can move on to whatever else the client is looking to achieve. Point number 4 is going to tip my hat to bodybuilders, because most people don't have the time to dedicate to bodybuilding the same way that people that you would see in the magazines do. Because of their financial restrictions or their time restrictions, most of the clients that we're going to serve can really only spare 2 to 3 times per week if we're able to do that. And that leads me to point number 6, which is that the walking around, the resting, the talking, most clients aren't ready to work out as intensely as they need to in the bodybuilding fashion in order to facilitate fat loss. However, you can create a more effective way of exercising, which will prevent them from talking and wasting as much time as they tend to, because the time intervals are built in. Since our goal is to increase our calorie burn, or our EPOC, one of the best methods of doing that is high intensity interval training. And I've included an article from ACE Fitness, the American Council on Exercise, on how EPOC will help to facilitate fat loss. And that's really just training across time domains. All right, so it's work for a little bit, rest for a little bit. But when you do the whole 3 sets of 10, there tends to be, oh, I got to tell you a story, oh, I'm not ready yet, oh, that set was too hard. So clients focus on moderate to vigorous exertion for about 30 seconds, let's say over the course of a 10 rep set, and then they'll wait for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, they'll tell a story, they'll get sidetracked. So you want to make sure that the exercising that you do is going to give them the best chance to see success. After I left the personal training world and got into boot camps, I found the most success by exhibiting high intensity interval training through boot camps. I have different styles like the 4x3. Tabata is a great exercise style which has been in existence for a long period of time, and I've kind of meshed that into my entire program, and that on average has worked best for people that have been committed. But there's one thing that is true across the board, and it's one thing that bodybuilders do really, really well. Point number 6 is that bodybuilders meal prep like crazy. Too often, trainers kind of pass the buck of responsibility of nutrition onto somebody else. And it doesn't take a dietitian or a nutritionist to remind your clients to prepare their foods, to stay away from excess sauces and salts, and really just be prepared. Take in a lot of vegetables. A bodybuilder's diet is one of the most bland, simple diets, but they work, all right? And too often, these clients are, they're doing their workout, and what do? They think they're getting a healthy protein shake, but they're going to the front desk of the gym, and they're getting their, 16 ounces of milk with peanut butter and Oreo cookies and a shake with a lot of sugar. So you want to make sure to monitor their nutrition, because we all know that without a proper nutrition plan, they're not going to see success anyway. So those are the points on why you want to Get away from bodybuilding training. Your goal is to get your client to a healthy body fat first. If they want to do bodybuilding training after they've gotten into a healthy body fat range, more power to them. But most people coming in don't have the time and don't have the dedication to get there. So your goal is to make sure that you give them the best workout with the time that you do have available, and make sure that their nutritional habits are in line with their end goal. So I hope you found this video helpful. Remember, if you have any questions or comments, make sure to comment below. I alluded to the effectiveness of high intensity interval training, and that's what I do. I've put together a program for trainers looking to teach either groups or one-on-one, and that is my Dumbbells to Dollars course. And I definitely recommend that you check it out because it is the best resource for any fitness professional looking to see success in the fitness industry. It goes over high intensity interval training in both groups and one-on-one. It also goes over nutritional journaling. For the trainers that are ready to embark on their own or just want to improve their business, it goes over marketing. And finally, anybody that's a certified personal trainer, it offers CEUs for you to keep your certification current. So if you want more information on the Dumbbells to Dollars course, I definitely recommend that you click on that image right there. But that's about it. That's all the information that I have for you this week. As I said before, if you have any questions or comments, comment below, because your questions are what fuel this channel. And you never know, your question may be the topic of my video next week. But I'll be back every Wednesday, so stay in touch. And remember to eat healthy, hydrate, dry safe, stress levels low, get rest, don't slap anybody, love your clients, they'll love you back. I'll see you all tomorrow or the next day, and you have a good one.